Hello, Man City fans, and welcome to Man City Matters. We've got some major Manchester City news to bring you today, and there are several huge developments you won't want to miss. From the latest reports linking Pep Guardiola with the England job, to the future of Rico Lewis, Phil Foden, and the massive Rodri to Real Madrid transfer story, there's plenty to discuss. So, make sure you watch until the end for all the latest updates and analysis. And if you're a true City fan, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Man City Matters, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Manchester City news. Pep Guardiola has privately confirmed he wants England job after major U-turn. Pep Guardiola left Manchester City and is now being linked with the England job following Thomas Tuchel's unsuccessful World Cup campaign. Pep Guardiola told friends he would like to manage England in the future after initially turning down the job in 2024. The 55-year-old stepped down from Manchester City this summer following a glittering decade in charge. At the Etihad, Guardiola claimed 20 major honors, including 6 Premier League titles and the Champions League. His future in football remains unclear as the Mail claims the tactician will not return to club management anytime soon. However, Guardiola has informed those close to him that he has dreams of taking charge of the Three Lions one day. While he is prone to changing his mind, he may see England's World Cup exit as an open door to the position. Tuchel's decision-making during the semi-final defeat to Argentina has been slammed by many, with critics calling for his departure just months after signing a 2-year extension with the FA. As a result, Guardiola's name is cropping up to lead the country once more, 2 years after he snubbed the Three Lions. The ex-City manager verbally agreed to take charge of England in 2024 following talks with FA chiefs. However, The Athletic reported that he drastically changed his mind at the last moment and opted to stay at the Etihad for another 2 seasons. Following his Premier League exit, Guardiola admitted he is planning to take a break from football. He said, "Rest. No plans to train for a while. Otherwise, I would be here. I need to step back. I will not train for a while. Many people, when I said it will be my last season, said after 3 months you will come back. I don't think so. I will take a while, but I have to prove to myself that I need a rest." He added, "It's not 10 years, except half a year in New York. It has been 17 or 18 years every 3 days with people demanding trebles and Premier Leagues, and I need to breathe a little bit and relax. I will be out for a while. I feel really satisfied, happy, and proud. It has been the experience of my life at City, otherwise I would not have been 10 years. I cannot be more grateful for the amount of love and affection." Given Guardiola's penchant for performing U-turns in the past, it is not impossible that he could potentially consider a move into a national team position. However, it looks like the FA are in a tough spot if they were planning to oust Tuchel from the England setup. It is understood that there was a break clause in the Germans' contract that would have allowed both parties to end the agreement if England exited the World Cup before the quarter-final stage. With the Final Four defeat to Argentina, it is likely that any severance package would be tough to work out. Despite the Guardiola links, Tuchel seems adamant that he will continue as England boss and has a deal that runs until the end of Euro 2028. Speaking post-match, the ex-Chelsea manager explained, "We keep on going with the contract until the home Euros. I'm looking forward to that, even though right now it's difficult to look that far ahead." Rico Lewis, likely to go for £25 million. Man City have to accept offer. That is according to former Man City financial advisor Stefan Borson, who exclusively told Football Insider that Man City are likely to fetch between £25 million and £30 million. The 21-year-old made 23 appearances across all competitions in 2025 to 26, with just 4 of those coming as starts in the Premier League, with the Citizens potentially adding Ayoub Bouati to the squad, weeks after signing Elliot Anderson for £116 million. Outgoings will soon need to be announced. City have also signed Pierce Charles and Jeremy Monga, though the former has been loaned out already, and the other is likely to be thrown into the academy next term. Rico Lewis, one of three to leave Man City. I think Rico Lewis is another player who's likely to go for £25 million to £30 million. Again, it's another big profit, he said. And they've got other players they can also try and sell. Reinders, Marmoush. These sorts of players are high-value players that they can bring in profit for, and that offsets who they buy. City are going to be left with a situation with these sorts of fringe players who cost a lot of money, £50 million to £60 million. They're going to be left really having to accept offers that have some conditionality on them, like a loan with a view to purchase them if that side, for example, qualifies for the Champions League. Lewis's Etihad Stadium exit looks inevitable. This is far from the first time that Lewis has been linked with an exit, with all signs pointing towards an inevitable move this summer. In the summer of 2025, Forest explored a double swoop for the 21-year-old and James McAtee, though only the latter moved to the City ground. Evangelos Marinakis' side are clearly targeting fullbacks ahead of the 2026-27 campaign, with both Gavairo Red and Dodo on their radar. That makes Lewis's potential move to Forest all the more likely, given his talents at right-back, as well as the ability to adapt to a midfield role easily. Enzo Maresca makes new Phil Foden plan after disappointing Man City twist. The 26-year-old has faced questions about his long-term future at the Etihad following a disappointing season in which he struggled to nail down a place under Pep Guardiola. That poor form ultimately led him to being left out of the England squad for the World Cup, while speculation has risen about a potential move away from Man City. However, as I revealed on the latest edition of Football Insider's Transfer Insider podcast, Man City have no concerns about Foden's future, and he is part of Maresca's future plans. The attacking midfielder remains very highly rated at the Etihad, having shown since rising through their academy, and they are keen to back him through a tough period. Foden will be given the chance to impress Maresca and earn his place during preseason training, with no intentions as things stand to entertain talks over a departure. Could Man City accept offers for Phil Foden? Football Insider revealed on July 19th that Man City have no plans to sell Foden, despite reports in Turkey suggesting Galatasaray are ready to make a big money offer. Maresca has no intention of letting the midfielder leave, while he is also not planning to make a move, with the Galatasaray links unlikely to turn his head. Foden will instead be handed the opportunity to impress his new manager and earn his place in the starting 11, as he attempts to turn around last season's frustrating form. Speaking on the Transfer Insider podcast, I explained, I don't think there's any doubt about Phil Foden's future. Manchester City still have full confidence in Phil Foden. Look, he had a disappointing season last year. There's no getting away from that. There were a few poor performances, and he couldn't become a regular in that side. Obviously then resulted in him missing England's World Cup squad as well, but I'm sure we'll get a fit and hungry Phil Foden this season. He will have a big role to play under Enzo Maresca, who will be counting on him as an important part of his squad, and we'll have a look at how he performs in pre-season. What is the latest on Foden's contract situation? Much of the speculation surrounding Foden's long-term future at the Etihad has risen due to his contract situation, with just 1 year remaining on his current deal. A number of clubs are keeping a close eye on the situation with plans to lure him away should the contract continue to tick down, but Man City have no plans to let him go. Football Insider revealed on July 17th that Man City are expected to reach an agreement with Foden and announce a contract extension in due course after extensive talks. The England international reached an agreement in principle over a new deal in May, and talks are believed to have continued positively since then. City are now hopeful that he will put pen to paper in the coming weeks to commit his long-term future to their plans, with Maresca valuing him as part of his. Man City, Fabrizio Romano reveals main obstacle blocking Rodri's dream transfer to Real Madrid. Fabrizio Romano has confirmed that Manchester City star Rodri dreams of playing for Real Madrid, though there is a main obstacle to overcome: Former Ballon d'Or winner Rodri has struggled for Man City since recovering from his ACL injury, but he was back to his best for Spain at the World Cup. Rodri was named Player of the Tournament as he helped Spain win the World Cup, having beaten Argentina 1-0 in Sunday's final. The world-class midfielder's performances at the World Cup is a boost for Man City, but Romano has shed light on whether he could leave the Premier League club this summer. Rodri, who is only under contract until 2027, is said to have a new contract proposal on the table from Man City, though his dream is to play for Real Madrid. At the moment, Rodri has a new contract proposal on the table from Manchester City, Romano said on his YouTube channel. It will now be up to Rodri to decide whether he wants to accept it or remain at Man City for one more season before potentially leaving as a free agent in 2027. Let me mention this again because many Real Madrid fans continue asking about the situation, especially after yesterday's final and Rodri's outstanding World Cup. Rodri dreams of playing for Real Madrid. He would love to join Real Madrid one day. From the player's side, that opportunity remains a dream. He came through the youth system at Atletico Madrid, so returning to Madrid, returning to Spain, and playing for Real Madrid is something he would love. Still, Romano has explained why Real Madrid president Florentino Perez is currently blocking Rodri from joining. However, at the moment, the story between Real Madrid and Rodri is blocked because of the club's president, Romano added. Florentino Perez is not convinced about moving forward for Rodri. If Florentino changes his mind this summer or next summer, I will let you know. Right now, the main obstacle is the decision of Florentino Perez. He is the person who has to make the final decision on Rodri. I can guarantee that Rodri dreams of Real Madrid, but right now there is a new contract proposal on the table from Man City. It is a very important offer financially for a 30-year-old player, especially someone who is one of the best footballers in the world. That is why this situation remains one to watch around the Spanish midfielder and the best player of the tournament at the 2026 World Cup. And that's all for today's Manchester City news update. What do you think about the latest developments surrounding Pep Guardiola, Rico Lewis, Phil Foden, and Rodri? Could Guardiola really become the next England manager? And do you think Rodri could eventually make the move to Real Madrid? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to Man City Matters, and turn on notifications for all the latest Manchester City news, transfer updates, and football analysis. Thanks for watching, City fans. Come on, City!